Sequins, sparkle and a glitter ball can only mean it's dance time. Our guest is currently on the road with the Strictly tour, but from May he's going solo with his All Balls and Glitter tour.
Welcome to the fabulous darling Craig Revel Horwood.
Did that well, didn't you?
You
Did
did
you like
that
that?
so well. I thought it was me, darling. I really did.
Do you know, darling,
Yeah.
I've been rehearsing that all morning.
Have you?
Hey,
I
I
could
have.
tell. And you've done it brilliantly.
Out of 10.
Amazing. Out of 10, an 8.
Oh, that's not
Well, that's
bad,
a good
is
score, isn't it?
Craig gave an 8.
Well, let's wait until the end of the interview. It could go up or down, depending
Indeed.
on what happens.
That's the worrying part. I tell you what, Craig, a bit of drama for you in the Strictly show with the water leak at the Scottish venue. And
Oh,
you
I
had
know.
Catherine Tilsley from Corrie pulling out
Yeah.
due to injury. You're a bit,
Yeah,
bit
I
jinxed
know.
there, weren't you?
No, not jinx, just the God putting too much rain on the hydro, darling. And a normal occurrence with dancing, injuries.
But the show goes on.
The show goes on, and I'm still there, so that's the main thing.
What do you enjoy about touring with Strictly? We'll come on to your own show in a moment, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's that magic of Strictly, isn't there?
Well, it's not just that. It's an opportunity for the audience to see it in its full glory. Because, of course, on the telly, you miss the sparkle a lot, like on the glitter side of events. Because rhinestones look so much better in real life than they'll ever look on TV, bizarrely. And not only that, you get to see all of the body rather than just the cutaway shots that the TV producers are showing you. And you see what we judges can judge, and then you can see the full body, which means you can comment on heel leads, you can comment on whether you like the whole look of it, and it's an opportunity also for the audience to actually get to see the show, because there are only so many tickets for the studio. It's impossible to fit everyone in that would like to come. So I think it's ticking every box. And plus, we have a blast on the tour because the dancing gets better and better because they do it 33 times. And they're no longer nervous because it's not a top competitive thing, because they know what dances they're doing. And the audience get to decide the votes, not the judges. So the audience can choose whoever they want to win, and that's equally good. So it's win-win, my darlings, win-win.
Let's talk about the photo that Judge Shirley put out of you with your kilt on and Bruno getting a bit too personal. Looks like you
She could have told me about that. But she could have told me that she was putting it on Insta. I said, really? I mean, that's totally publishable then. And I hadn't even seen the photograph. So I didn't know what was being shown.
You?
No, darling, no. She just posted it straight away, instantly. It was in the paper literally half an hour after online. I just went, oh, goodness. Anyway, I looked hot, so I was fine.
Now, I believe, Craig, you didn't fancy being on the TV programme initially. You didn't want to go to the audition, did you?
No, I didn't. It sounded like a car crash. I just thought, what is that about? That's going to be awful. Celebrities dancing with professionals. I said, these professionals have been dancing since the age of 3 to get to their ability now. I said, in 3 weeks, there is no way a celebrity who's never danced before will ever be able to do anything more than 2 basic steps. And that will be done badly. So I said, no, I'm not interested. It's going to be awful. And I said, who would be interested in watching it anyway? I was proved just a little bit wrong.
Just a little bit. Is it hard to be a judge and give a decent performance review? Because you've only got seconds, haven't you, to summarise it on the TV?
Well, 20 seconds, I think that's long enough to tell them what's wrong.
How can you do? Gosh,
I can
that would-
elaborate. Of course, I can elaborate. I could speak for 5 hours about, your technique and what you need to do to achieve it. But I think, as we've all got to speak, and we've got 2 minutes altogether to do that, which is allowing 30 seconds each. But Bruno generally takes up that whole 2 minutes, and I've got they'll say, Craig, 1 word, please, 1 word. So that's where fabulous was born, or dance disaster.
Dance disaster,
to make up time. And also to say what I really thought about it. So it's always a challenge, but I love it. It's something I love to do every single year, and I would miss it if I wasn't doing it. I really would, because every year is totally different, and I think every year we get a new generation of people watching it and new groups of people watching it, groups in the community. If you've got a snooker player there, for instance, the Dennis Taylor types, you will get snooker players and snooker enthusiasts and fans watching Strictly. Same with rugby, same with cricket. I mean, it goes all around the community, which I think is fantastic. And that's why I think it has built up such a huge crowd of people that love it and view it. And of course, not only that, it's gone to 58 countries worldwide and has broken the Guinness Book of Records for the most produced format in the world. I've done the New Zealand one for 3 years. I'm doing the Australian Dancing with the Stars, where I start that next week, as soon as the Strictly tour finishes. And that keeps me there for 3 months, which I totally love it. And then I'm coming back to start rehearsals for my All Balls and Glitter tour, which I'm taking out to the nation, going solo, darling.
And we'll hear more about that
Darling.
after sport. Darling.
Now then, lifelong dancer and fabulous choreographer and director Craig Revel Horwood has been on the road with the Strictly show team. This coming May, he's dancing solo with his All Balls and Glitter tour. It's coming to Blackpool.
Now, when Nisha myself caught up with him, we asked him about whether having hugely popular male sporting stars had encouraged more men to have a go at dancing classes.
Well, Darren Gough set the trend for that. He came out, he was probably the first big butch bloke we had on the show, that was a sportsman. And he came out in pink sequins, lycra. And I went, well, if that's not going to change people's opinion, then nothing will. And, he sort of brought the butch to ballroom, and I love that because it made it okay for people to enjoy it. Because you're seeing a sportsman of that calibre enjoying it. And you're seeing, Robbie Savage loved himself doing it, loving the hair, loving the sequins, the tighter the better for Robbie. So it was sort of, it was really good. And I think because it does go a cross-section of the community, I think that's why people can discuss it in their normal jobs, over a cup of coffee on their coffee break. No matter who you are, you could have very different interests, but still find that a common interest. And I think that's what's important. It gets people talking on a Monday. It gets people dancing more than anything, and encourages, the couch potato to maybe just get up and try a step. And who knows, you may love it and then go on, like a lot of people do, to dance classes and enjoy dancing again with their wife or husband or both.
You've been Strictly show judge for the entire time now, Craig.
Yeah.
Did you not want to be head judge when Len Goodman left?
Oh, no, that's the mediator of the group. I don't think so, darling. I like having a strong opinion. I would have to become, someone that had to take sides and then bring the love and the interest and the warmth to it. I'm not that type of person. I don't want that job. Shirley's better at it than me, darling, anyway. I wouldn't get on my villain roles if I did that.
Yeah,
because you are the villain.
Miss Hannigan and Annie. Yeah. I'm the villain in everything, and I love it. I totally love it. It's fantastic. I did Nativity Rocks, the movie. I was the villain in that one, playing Emmanuel Cavendish, this vile director. And the villain roles are far more interesting. I do them every year in Panto. I'm in Panto again this year. I've just been in Manchester, which was great, doing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, playing the Wicked Queen. This year I'm in Cinderella at Southampton, down at the Mayflower, playing the Wicked Stepmother. So there's only one role to have, and that's
Do you like
villain.
the costume changes?
I love them. Yeah, I come out in a different frock every time. Although in Cinderella I'm a frump, and in the Wicked Queen I'm 60 going on 20. And I love that. About an older woman, battling age. It has all those references, doesn't it? Which is brilliant. So, I try and be as beautiful as I can in that, and as frumpy as I can in the other.
Well, Craig, you're a lifelong dancer, highly acclaimed choreographer and director. And after this Strictly tour, of course, you're going solo, not only dancing, but singing too. Let's have a listen to this, because when we saw you as Dolly Levi in Musicals Week, it was fabulous hearing you. Amazing.
He's been practicing.
5 words to sing they gave me, darling. I wanted the whole number, but I thought, no, let's just tease the audience. But no, in my All Balls and Glitter tour, I'll be singing quite a lot. And you never know, you might see her again.
He's great, isn't he?
Oh, what a fabulous interview we had with him. And there's even more to come, isn't there?
There is, yeah, so wait for that. Now, Craig's show, All Balls and Glitter, promises lots of backstage gossip and some quite open and honest stories about his life pre-Strictly. One part of the show is about how important entertainer Bruce Forsyth was with him.
He was like a father figure to me. And for me, every time I hear the opening credits and the music, I always think of him. And for us, the whole Strictly team and family, it keeps him with us. And we know that when we start and they're walking down the stairs, that he's there in spirit. And I think, it's really important. He created this show along, with all the rest of the originals and made it his own, and I absolutely loved him. And he was, as I say, like a father figure. He taught me about publicity. He taught me almost how to speak to the press, how to cope with adverse reactions, because I was originally getting really upset about the papers and what they were saying, and now I just treat it like a comic strip and have a good old laugh along with them, which is good fun. I don't think I'd want to take it all that seriously. It's an entertainment program, and I'm up there to have a good time and to promote dance and wave the dance flag, and of course support, BBC's flagship show all around the world. And I think they're doing a really, really great job. Particularly with production values, year after year it gets better and better. A bit more money's thrown at it. The costumes are amazing, the makeup, the hair, there's no malice in it whatsoever, and it's just great family entertainment from 3-year-olds to 93-year-olds, and you can't beat that. There isn't any television really like that, and I think that's why it has lasted, and I think that's what makes it great, and I think that's what makes it live for another 20 years.
Let's talk a little bit about Michael McIntyre's Midnight Game Show. You were part of the... Oh, come on. You were part of the Christmas edition where he crept into your bedroom, and you were genuinely surprised when the TV crew appeared. Were you? Did you know they were coming? What happened?
I know everyone thinks that it's not possible that a whole crew and a donkey and Christopher Biggins dressed as Widow Twankey could possibly sneak into my house and surprise me, but they did. And they did it through the misuse of my manager and my boyfriend.
I love
Jonathan, who arranged it all at the time. He kept the windows open because he said he was boiling hot and couldn't stand it, and I was freezing. He said, well, put a T-shirt on or something. So I did, and I was so tired and exhausted, I fell asleep. And, of course, that was the first time I've seen myself asleep. It was, like, awful. I went, oh, no, what do I do? Because I just got the shock of my life. And, of course, I was in no mind to be answering questions on a game show. Well, there's 20 elves in there that were holding cameras. I mean, they're all dressed as elves, the crew. I mean, that bedroom was rammed.
A bit of a squish, right?
Well, it's squished. I mean, that's a massive bedroom I've got. It's huge. And it was rammed full of people. And then one by one, they were coming in as presents or whatever, the ghosts of Christmas past. It was the funniest thing ever. But I tell you, after it was brilliant. I said, because I'd woken up completely by the time we'd done the game show. And I invited everyone downstairs to the kitchen for champagne. No, we're all having a party until about 4 in the morning. But I had to work the next day. But it was just such a great time actually to see everyone, as much as it was a shock, and I was sort of embarrassed.
It was hilarious, honestly.
No
hilarious.
Makeup, no hair, darling, no preparation. Yeah, it was hilarious. So, I mean, when I saw it back on the bed with Michael McIntyre when we did like the after filming, for it, I just was laughing my head off. I could not believe it. And I'm thinking, this is going out to the nation. It's bad enough having 2,000 people at the Palladium looking at it, let alone seeing it yourself and knowing that on Christmas Day it's just going to be embarrassing.
You're a good sport.
Yeah, great sport. Just finally, Craig, let's talk about Blackpool, the Grand Theatre in June, with your own tour, of course, the All Balls and Glitter Tour on the 28th of June. What can we look forward to?
You can look forward to seeing me be myself. I think a lot of people know me just from the telly and don't know that I had a checkered past, darling, in the theatre. And I'll be speaking about, my journey from my hometown of Ballarat in Australia and my first shows, how I became a dancer, why I became a dancer, and moving through my life through song and dance. So it's going to be great. And I can't wait for people to hear me sing, because I don't think people really know that. I mean, they got a glimpse of it a little bit on Strictly when I was forced a knife point to go in a dress down and stand on a cake. But not really forced. I enjoyed every minute of it.
See, I didn't know you
secretly.
could sing.
No, no one does. And I think it's about time the world found out. No, I love it. I totally love it. And I find it therapeutic as well. It's just a lovely thing to do. And I'm in Australia Dancing with the Stars. And from the Monday to Friday when I'm not filming, I'm going to be recording a duets album with my friend Rietta, who's got a cracking voice. And she's written me some lovely songs. So we're going to record those and see how we go. And if they're any good, we'll release it, darling. And the worst thing I could do is probably sell it out front of the theatre. Couldn't I?
With your little CD box.
To either, little CD box and a little paddle, and then they can score me.
Lovely to chat to you. We look forward to you coming to Blackpool in June. It's fabulous, wasn't he?
He was great,
lovely
yeah.
man. Absolutely fabulous.
You love saying that, don't you?